Hello, and welcome to the last episode and video on my 50 years in the future Pleasantview. Today we are going to talk about the elders living in here in the Eldershome. Um, in the end, I will have an announcement for what I'm gonna do next. So I hope you will stick around to listen to that. Um, I am probably Maybe I'm gonna show you every 25 years in the future from here. It depends on how I feel about playing this hood because after starting recording this, I kind of got a spark back to play the game, but I made a Uber hood. I think I maybe have told a little bit about it. Um, and my play style is just completely different there. So I don't have the biggest interest in playing this hood at the moment, and because it's my private hood, I'm only gonna play it when I have the interest for it. But yeah, I will tell you a little bit more about it in the end of the video when I tell you about my announcement. All right, here we have the Elder's Home. Some maybe recognize it. It is from Pleasant Sim's website. I am again no builder or decorator, so I felt like at least a building would be easier to take somewhere else. And Pleasant Sims was one of the YouTubers that really got me into playing The Sims again, and I really liked her builds, so I feel like this was an easy solution for me. The people living here is Chester Geek, it is Jason Larson, Castanova, Ashley Pitts, and Heather Huffington. So it is mostly it's three from university and then two from Bluewater Village. Um, as you can see, Castor is nearing his last days of life. The same is Jason Larson. Castor has a long time to go yet, and I guess from some of the memories we have seen in the other Sims, he has much more energy to to use on his life. I know he's a knowledge sim, but he has acted more like a romance sim than anything else. And then we have Ashley Pitts. He is probably one of the the most out there romance sims. He is the only one I have just been somewhat close to 20 woohoos with different sims. I feel like it's so hard, also because I don't necessarily want to ruin all the relationships, and you kind of need to do that. But yeah, and then we of course have Heather Huffington that has a long way to death too. Um, but yeah, I think we should just dive into the different sims and get this last household done with. So let's start with Chester. Chester is a knowledge sim. He is the most knowledge sim you can ever be. His bio is just the original. No, it is. It's just the original one, so it's not so important. He is in the middle of sloppy and neat. He's shy, he's lazy, he is playful, and he's nice. Chester's family is interesting because he never got married. He never really had any big flirt. Not in his eyes, at least. His first child was Noah, which is a boy he never really got to know that well. And he got Noah with Florence de la Rosa. And what I mean with he never really found some love interest per se, he was, of course, had with Florence, but I feel like it was more her that really liked him than him really liking her. I think he really liked her, but he was just so much caught up in skill and knowledge and aliens that he didn't really think about it. And then he, of course, got Gia. with an alien after he got abducted. And Gia is the person that made him move to the Eldershome because she had moved home to her childhood home, and it started to be a little bit cramped with all the grandkids. And I guess Chester maybe she wanted the house for herself a little bit, and he I think she thought that he would have a better time with other people and actually see other people than just his own books and paintings. If that is true, I don't know, but at least he is here now. um, if we look into his memories, you can see he has all the skills. He also finished his lifetime wand of maxing out everything. He didn't get a new one apparently. Um, he had okay. Let's start off. Interesting. Um, he had more going than I thought. I don't know exactly why he has the memories of going to college because I didn't play him through college, but he has at least. I just gave him the graduation via the bad box. But yeah, he early on he got a job. He met Florence, and they woohooed, and they kissed, and they fell in love. And from that, he got a son Noah. And shortly after, just right after, he got abducted, and he got Gia. So there's a really short time between these two. And from there, honestly, it's just been knowledge things. He has maxed out creative. He met some ghosts. I guess he was at the graveyard or something like that, and more skills he maxed out. He has been the perfect knowledge sim you can get to. As you can see, his memory files are also really small. He doesn't have these that many, at least. He doesn't have so many of these big met new people things because he rarely went out. Um, and he never fell in love again. Florence was the only woman he had anything to do with until I saw this. Apparently, just before he moved to the Eldershome, I guess he met Cassandra. Um, and with that, they had a kiss and a woohoo. Um, I don't necessarily not necessarily. I don't remember anything about that, but I guess you go, man. If that's what you wanted to do, I guess that's fine. At this point, Cassandra also would have been divorced to Dawn, so I feel like she would have been fine with it. But Chester, that's a surprise. um, and yeah, that's kind of what there is about him. I think the reason he remembers Nina's death is because Nina died on not too long ago here. Yeah, we have her gravestone here. Dawn also died in this household, but I think I already moved him to the graveyard. I'm not sure why he remembers Bria's death, but he does. That's something. That's fair. But I actually think that's everything I can tell you about Chester. He's gonna die soon, but he has achieved all his goals in life. I feel like. I guess many others would have seen his life as being quite boring, but it was perfect for him, I guess. And here we have Jason Larson. He is the brother of Jodie Larson. Um, he had one kid, Timmy Caliente, uh, who he had with Nina Caliente. I don't think he ever had much to do with him. No, he knows him, but he never really got to know him. He really, from the beginning, he lived with his sister. And when she got a kid, he had his whole focus on Castor. And I think they got born almost around the same time. So I guess Jason just used all his energy on Carter, instead of trying to get to know his own kid. So yeah, that is his family tree. He has, of course, never met any of his grandchildren, and I don't even think he knows that they exist. But I have the feeling that he has a lot of money, and I think because he knows that Timmy is his own son in the world, he's gonna give all his money to Timmy anyways, because that would be the last good thing for him to do. And because he met Nina in the Eldershome before she died again, I feel like he would have talked with her about the whole thing and agreed on giving Timmy his money when he died, as maybe a sorry for not being there. But if we look into his personality first, he is, of course, a fortune sim. He is sloppy, he's outgoing, he is a little bit more active, he's a little bit more serious, and in the middle of grouchy and nice. He, from the beginning, really wanted to get money. So from the start, I focused on getting him a job, and so he could get money from the start and be rich. um, and it was actually quite early he met Nina, and they wooed quite early, and that was also where he got his kid. So as you can see, it was not like it was a fast romance, if you can say it like that. And he was actually sure that they were gonna be married now that they had a kid together. And that, okay, that's interesting. They got interesting, interesting. They got engaged, and here we have Castor with Chester just in front of him. Castor has for me from the beginning been quite interesting because he is a knowledge sim, like a lot. Okay, I ended up giving him the romance sim secondary aspiration, but I think I just did that long time after because he fits so well in it. From the beginning, he had interest in many different people. So yeah, I will show you. His personality is he is a little bit more sloppy, a little bit more shy, a little bit more active, and in the middle of serious and playful, and then a little bit more nice. His bio is just the normal one as always. In college, he he had a fling with Tiffany. I guess that was his first fling, his first crush. But shortly after, he got with Allegra. And after college, they kind of just moved in together because they fit pretty well together. I don't remember if they moved into the slop house together or if it was. I'm pretty sure it was the slop house. But as you can see already here, even though he had this with Allegra, he started having something with Heather. They were really attracted to each other, and I feel like Allegra knew this, but she didn't mind it at all. Already there, she had an agreement with Castor that, well, if you meet someone you like, you can do whatever you want. We are both okay with this. Um, as you can see, he has the memory of Leon being born. So there you can see he is actually the parent of Leon. I don't think he knows him at all, though. I don't feel like they have ever met. Not that they should have, because he was not kept by anyone in his family, so why should he?
Um, but yeah, and I feel like at this point he had been both with Allegra and Heather at the same time, so him not really knowing too much about Leon's birth, I don't think that he minds too much. I don't even think that Heather have told him now, um, because why should she? I don't think she. Of course, she remembers, but I don't think she thinks too much about it. Um, yeah, I can see here they started in the flop house together. He, Castor and Allegra, because they got Lewis and then they moved out, um, or moved in more so. From there, they was just kind of a happy family. He helped Lewis with his homework and stuff like that, but they never really got the interest in being more than just lovers, um, which was quite interesting for me. He ended up having a woohoo with Heather again, where Charlie got born from then, um, but nothing more really. He kept going like this, and as you can see, he doesn't even like it's just meeting people and having a little bit of love and woohoo and baby. um, he hit the highest level of his career. I don't think it was that important for him because I feel like he was just more thinking about skilling and living his life. As you can see, he also kissed Melody, so he wasn't like opposed to uh, kissing with people. He liked doing it, and apparently he has done that with a lot of people here and there. Um, but after Allegra moved out, I don't even know if I can see when that was. I think it was around here, maybe a little bit earlier. He just lived alone at that point, and for him it was fine. Um, he was completely okay with it. As you can see, he just went out and found someone to flirt with if he needed so. But he mostly just was at home and doing his hobby, and yeah, he didn't really need to do any more than that in his mind, at least. Um, then he moved to this place because of Louis. He asked him to and said that is maybe a good idea. When he moved here, he sadly got a demotion before he not a demotion. He got demoted before he retired. But that is what's happened sometimes. And as you can see, even though he's living here, he's not afraid of going out and finding some young blood to have fun with. Um, or old blood. As you can see, he just made it to kissing and actually being with the famous Nina Caliente before she died. So I guess that's a goal for itself. He still has some years left in this elder's home. I feel like I'm gonna make him either visit his son or his son visit him, so they can keep up their good relationship. Other than that, he's just gonna hang out here and live his life as best as he can. And here we have Ashley Pitts, who is, in my mind, more of a Don than Don ever was in my neighborhood. He has been with so many different Sims in all ages, in all times of life stages and stuff like no, like no, never teenager or anything, but as an adult, he has been with lots of adults and elders and stuff like that. Um, so he has been all over the place. It's not everything. Every time it went well, and sometimes he got caught, but at least he had the woohoos, and I guess that is what counts for him. No surprise, he's a romance sim, and yeah, he's a Leo. His bio is the same as in normal university. He's really sloppy, he is super outgoing, he is active, he is a little bit more playful, and he's grouchy. let's see if we can see how many. In my story, he hasn't had too much of a storyline, and he hasn't been too important for everything else happening. Um, of course, he had a kid, Tammy, but again, she was at the adoption center for the whole her young years, so she didn't either know Nina or her father. And I feel like even if he wanted to give her his money, I of course she would take them, but she wouldn't care. I think she would be, yeah, you're not important for me. I think even though if he tries to contact her now, she wouldn't in any way take that contact up. So yeah, that's kind of his. Yeah, that's what he asked in life, pretty much, with how he did things. Um, I think to show his memories, it's more interesting to count how many he actually had woohooed with. So the first one was Nina, that's one, who he got a child with. And then he has Rebecca, that's two. And Heather, that's three. He has been with Diane, that's four. Interesting. Heather, you already had. And then Marsha, that's five. Melissa, that's six. And Marilena is seven. And Brianna is eight. Um, Kiara also. Okay, that's nine. Oh my god, so many. She already counted that. Melody, that's 10. And Nina, that. Oh, we already had Nina though. Uh, oh, is that the last ones? Okay, so he's only at 10. Only, that's a lot. um, that is kind of the only impressive thing about Ashley. And what I can tell you about life is just showing how many he has kissed and been with. Um, that was his life goal, and that is also what he did. Um, I don't even think we can just check if he has any money in his bank. I think he has okay. Yeah, that's quite a lot of money. And I think he's gonna give that to Tammy. And if he's not gonna do that, he's gonna give it to the neighborhood funds or just the Eldershome, honestly. But he still have some days to go to figure out what he's wanna do with his money. And then we're going to the last one, Heather Huffington, and then we're done. So here we have Heather. She actually has some backstory and did some things in her younger years because she actually got married and got kids and stuff like that. Um, so she's quite interesting. I think she's one of the more interesting elders in the Eldershome. I really like Castor too, but I feel like I already told you a lot about him in Allegra's part of the story. um, yeah, she is a romance sim. She is really sloppy. She is outgoing. She's lazy. She's playful and quite nice. And her bio is just gonna be the same as in her university bio. So let's look into her memories. A lot of cheating. Um, in her college years, she already there had some kissing with Martin Rubin. Um, they fell in love and had their first woohoo. Um, she got expelled from college, and I think from there she was like, "Nah, it's fine." She moved into the flop house. I'm sorry, where she apparently kissed Cleve. He was an elder at that point too, so I think that's fun. And they woohooed. So already here, the romance journey happened. She was on her first date with Joshua, and it went really well, as you can see. And she didn't think much more of it than that. Then she went on a date with Castor, and everything was nice and dandy. um, and she was a little bit more with Cleve, and then Chester's the woohoo with Chester kind of developed into a baby, who she, with no hesitation, sent to the adoption home. She didn't even ask Castor if he wanted the baby. She was like, "No, this is probably the best." And just before that, she apparently also kissed Ashley. And after that, she woohooed with Ashley. So I guess she didn't really care too much about the whole baby thing. She then fell in love with Joshua, and she ended up saying yes to the engagement and actually ended up getting married to him. I feel like at that point she wasn't thinking too much what this actually meant to get married. That it meant that she was gonna be, if you can say, domesticated. um, but it was a way for her to get out of the flop house. She moved in with him in downtown, and and as you can see already from the beginning, she was cheating. Because for her, she didn't necessarily see the marriage as something that should stop her going for the life she wanted. It was just nice to actually live in a good home and have a little bit of money. At this point, Joshua hadn't like lots of money and wasn't too far in his career, but it was at least something. Um, and I don't necessarily think she was thinking about the consequences if she was caught. But she was clever enough to hide it if you can say it like that. So she was with Ashley a couple of times, and then she met up with Castor again, and then had a woohoo. And it's interesting because I know this is not Castor's, but it's interesting that she has had other affairs, but the only ones that meant something was like that had children involved was with Castor. But yeah, she finally had a woohoo with Joshua. I guess the first woohoo was a public one. Yeah, that is why it was remembered as the first woohoo like that. And from that woohoo, she got Cynthia. In the meantime, she of course had been with Joshua's own brother, so that's well done, Heather. She got Cynthia. Um, she was never really the big mom type, but since she was the person that was home all the time, she chose to teach Cynthia the things she needed to learn. Um, and she found a townie in the middle of it all to have an affair with. It's always interesting to see, or funny at least, to see Romance Sims memories because it's so much of this. um, Cynthia grew up really well, so of course Heather celebrated it with having an affair with Dawn. um, and I feel like at this point she felt really secure in what she was doing. She had control and everything was going well. Um, she even had an affair with Jason, but in the end, she ended up being caught. Huh? Oh, this is. I thought that was another caught. Okay. I guess Dawn saw her being on a date with Jason and he got mad about that, which I feel like is a little bit unfair because Dawn is as much of a cheater as her and they weren't even like a couple, they had just been on a date together. Dawn knows what this game is about. um, so she continued with Jason. I guess she didn't care much about that. See, this was the point I thought we had hit. So at Cynthia's birthday, her being grown up to be a teen, Joshua, of course, invited his brother because his brother was the only family they had. And that was where Heather and Martin Ruben got really careless and they had a kiss. And Joshua noticed this and he found out everything, and he got really, really mad, of course, and they were fighting, and everything was really, really bad. And quickly after, they broke up. There was no hesitation from Heather's side either to just move out. And I think from there, she actually never really had much to do with Cynthia again. Not at least by my accord. Nope. They completely fell out of relationship. They don't in any way know each other anymore. um, and after that, she had a rebound with Castor, because why not? I feel like at this point she was, of course, a little bit sad about how everything went, but I also think she maybe felt a little bit more free because she wasn't fit for that married life, if at least if she wasn't allowed to do anything with other people. Of course, from this woohoo with Castor, she got Charlie. Um, oh, and she was close to dying. Okay, so when she got Charlie, she was really close to dying. I don't know who was there to plead for her. Could have it have been her? The Okay, someone at least pleaded for her in this childbirth moment. So she survived. I don't think she can plead herself when she's just a romance sim. Maybe she can. But she at least lived alone at this point. So this is I completely forgot about this. But at least even though she miraculously survived that, she just gave the kid away anyways. So hooray for being a good parent, I guess. um, and yeah, from there she just continued her romance sim life all the way through. She has been with both adults and elders, and just run her life as she wanted to. Um, I cannot see when she moved into the Eldershome. But I think it was around here because I made them retire when they move in. Um, so that is where she is now. And why she doesn't have any woohoos and loves and whatever here is because everyone here she's already been with, besides Chester. Um, does she have a bolts with Chester though? Because if that could be, yeah, she does. I guess that could be the 10th. Okay, I need to count how many she has then, because if Chester can be the last one so she gets this one, I know what to do next time I play this. So Martin is 1, Cleaver is 2, and Joshua is 3, Chester is 4, we have then Ashley is 5, and we have both of those. And Armando is 6. And Don is 7. Jason is 8th. And I don't think that we have more. We already have him. Oh, no. Okay, so we are missing 2. So at least Chester can be one of them. We have something to go for here. That's fine. Okay, so next goal is Chester, and then I need to figure out who the last one can be, because I feel like she needs to hit this goal before she dies. For sure. Um, so yeah, that was the Eldershome, and that was the last family of this Pleasantview. So I guess I will see you in the neighborhood screen. And that was everything. It's kind of insane that it's finally done. I
I don't even know. I haven't put anything out yet when I'm filming this, but it's probably been out or maybe a month ago since I started putting it out or something like that. But I am so happy to be done, and I feel like for me this has been a really good way to get into The Sims properly again. As I said in the beginning of this video, I have a little announcement. I of course don't even know at this point how this series even did, and in the end, it doesn't really matter for me because I really want to start my new series, which is gonna be my Uberhood. My gameplay have changed a lot since I started this Pleasantview, but also since I started this recording of my Pleasantview. I have taken a lot of inspiration from Annie Bats. She is on YouTube. I think her way of playing has been really inspiring for me to take the gameplay way slower and be more story driven. So my plan is to, record me playing my Uberhood. And it's gonna be one a video is one day in uh, said family sim. Kind of like if you have seen Annie Bat's videos, the first season of her Pleasantview, well, also her second season, they are amazing, and it's not gonna be that amazing, but she it's if you love watching The Sims, she has some fantastic stories. So please, please, please go and watch her. She has been a big inspiration for me. But yeah, I'm gonna set up my series a little bit the same way, and I hope it's okay for her that I do this. I just think it's such a good way to show the family and play the families while showing them. So that's why I'm so inspired about it. But yeah, that's gonna be what my next series is gonna be. I have already played them for a week, a sim week, so from Monday to Sunday, to get a little bit of story going and see where everything, because it's an Uberhood, it's not gonna be the traditional canon stories in the beginning, but you're gonna see a lot of known faces, and many of the originals. So yeah, I'm just excited to show you what has happened, and the way I'm playing it is so much better for me where I am now. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this series. I hope you enjoyed the videos. I know some of them were very long, and some of them were very messy and rambly. I ramble a lot. And I hope my English has been okay. I feel like it's maybe got a little bit better over time, and I hope it's gonna be even better when I start on my Uberhood. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next series. Okay, yeah. See you. Bye.